you." She held her hand out. Harrison took it, and she pulled him out of his seat and into a hug. "Thank you."
"I thought for sure you were going to figure it out," he said. "For a super genius, you're pretty slow sometimes."
She pulled away. "Yes, well, very well played." A purple sparkly streak fell out of the sky onto the armrest of Harrison's chair. Glimmer landed there and took off her white visored helmet, shaking out her iridescent silver hair. She wore an olive jumpsuit with Air Force insignia above the left breast pocket zipper. On her right hand, she wore a mitten she had refused to talk about for months. Her feet were bare.
"How did I do?"
"It was beautiful," said Dorothy. "Thank you so much."
"Didn't see it coming?"
Dorothy shook her head. "Nope." Glimmer giggled. Dorothy looked over Harrison's shoulder and nodded in that direction. Claudia had come down from the bleachers and held back at a short distance. By the light of the park's street lamps, the shock of white in her otherwise black hair stood out more than usual. Harrison offered a cordial smile.
"What's up?"
Claudia looked at her feet, then at a point somewhere not quite in the direction of Harrison's eyes. "I'm supposed to tell you you've got another supply run tomorrow morning, and something about consequences if you leave your communicator at home again. Because, you know, it's like your job." She looked past him and waved. "Hey, Dottie, happy birthday." "Thanks," said Dorothy. Neither girl made further attempts to engage. Claudia had been Dorothy's first true friend when they arrived in New Chicago the previous November, and had also been partly responsible for Harrison being arrested. The three of them did not find balance an easy thing to achieve in social settings. "Yeah, anyway," said Claudia, "Alec needs you to report at 5 o'clock.
"Oh, for God's sake," said Harrison. "I was about to take the kids for ice cream."
Claudia shrugged. "How much sleep you get is between you and Alec."
"Hey,"
said Glimmer.
"I've got this. If you want to get some shut-eye, I'll get the kids home, okay?"
"I need you to get them up tomorrow, too,"
he said to the pixie. No one voiced questions about a 9-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl being parented by a 12-inch tall woman with butterfly wings, one of the least odd things about the new rhythm they had all found in their lives.
"Make sure Mitchell eats breakfast."
Glimmer saluted.
"Aye, aye, Captain."
Dorothy hugged him again. He kissed her on the forehead.
"Happy birthday, kiddo."
"Travel safely," she said. Harrison crouched to get a hug from Mitchell as well, then headed back to their apartment, alone. Chapter 2. Vault. Through the small window of the transport, random scenery scrolled by. Harrison rode in silence, surrounded by a dozen agents, most of whose names he did not know. A few of them engaged in occasional quiet discussion, but Harrison kept to himself, and they all seemed content to let him do so. The ride from HQ took nearly 2 hours. They traveled over uneven terrain, but inside the cabin of the transport, only the most severe bumps translated into discomfort, and even then only barely.
"That's it, up ahead,"
said the driver. The agent sitting next to Harrison stood and made his way through the narrow compartment to the front. He leaned over the driver's seat and looked out the windshield, effectively blocking Harrison's view of their target.
"Nice. Pull us up alongside on the left there. Leave us about a 20-foot berth."
"No problem." The driver pulled the wheel to the left. Less than a minute later, the vehicle came to a halt. Its engine noise went from quiet to silent.
"Carr, Milton, you're with me,"
said the standing agent.
"I want the rest of you scouting the grounds."
All the remaining agents unbuckled seatbelts, adjusted field gear, and filed out the rear hatch. Carr and Milton, a man and a woman, though Harrison could not recall which was which, exited through the front door. Harrison undid his seat restraint.
"Sit tight, Cody."
The lead agent put his hand on Harrison's shoulder.